Guys, welcome to my channel. I'm LaQuinta. Today we are talking about the topic of the plight of the African American woman and the African American man. As some of you might know, I do write a blog on WordPress under Lady La Poet. I am a beautiful disturbance, so if you want to check me out on WordPress, shameless plug, go ahead and check me out, where I get to explore topics in more detail. Now, this series, The Plight of the African American Man and the African American Woman, is going to explore the relationship between black men and black women, specifically here in the United States of America. I got the idea to write this blog because of the viral video that came out where Kev Samuels was talking to a female caller. She called into the show and she pretty much wanted to know, how can she find a high value man? This young woman was seeking a man who makes six figures because she owns her own business. She's a six-figure woman herself, so she wants someone to match her energy, to match her drive, to match her ambition. And pretty much she was told, based on her looks, based on her parental status, she just wasn't worthy of a guy who made six figures. And then there was another video that came out where another man was giving his perspective on how Kev Samuels handled the female caller. He had a couple of little ideas. Why do black women date down? Why do black women find themselves in situations where they're picking losers? Why do African American women walk around with so much masculine energy? It turns men off, which is why it's hard for African American women to meet men, specifically black men, because as you know, a statistic came out that says black women are least likely to date outside of their race. Black women seek black men. The majority of black women want to be in relationships with black men. And that's understandable. You want to be with someone who kind of understands your struggle, what you're going through, etc. So it's a lot to unpack. That's why we have to go over it in several sessions. So one is a trauma passed down. Basically, this is talking about how, if you understand from the beginnings of time, that when we were brought here over on those slave ships, and the whole idea is that, the African American woman, she is the essence of humanity. When you think about it, the original life came from her womb. So she is powerful. She is amazing. She is everything. In order for you to break that down and to take that away from the African American woman or any black woman, you have to make them feel like they are unworthy, unappreciated, or less than. Even Brother Minister Malcolm X said the most unappreciated or disrespected person in America is the African American woman. And this is true on so many levels, because that was taught to our ancestors over a period of time and bred into them, beat into them continuously. And a lot of times people would like to say, well, that was in the past, but those traumas are passed down from generation to generation. So it still lives within us. White supremacy is not just a white person thing. Any other race of people or ethnicity can subscribe to white supremacy, and making them feel like the characteristics that they possess that are less Eurocentric are not appreciated or wanted or desirable. That all feeds into white supremacy, and we've all subscribed to it at one point in time or another until you become aware of it and acknowledge it and just say to yourself that you love yourself enough to not feed into that and to just love yourself the way God made you. Okay, like I said, white supremacy fed us the lie, and most of our people indulged in it gluttonously. And so here we are. And there's a statistic, and this statistic has been in effect since 1980 and still runs strong to this very day. Black men are twice as likely as black women to have a spouse of a different race or ethnicity. 24% versus 12%. It's been this way since the 1980s. Now, not long ago, I wrote another blog on my blog, and it was titled Leave Black Women Alone. And I even did a TikTok about it. And I wrote this in response to, there was just an onslaught of black men coming on the internet saying that they prefer white women or Latinas or Asians or whatever over black women. And the reason that they would give was, I like white women because black women ... Now, I have an issue with this. I don't care who you want to be with whomever makes you happy. But my whole thing is, if black women are minding their own business, I'm over here minding my own black girl business, as most of us would say. Why do you feel the need to come on Beyonce's internet and come for me when I didn't ask for you, bro? Why? If you have a preference, just say you like white women because you like white women. Why do you have to bring black women into your conversation? You can like who you want, but just leave black women out of it. And so my whole example referred to it like this. If you can't state your preference for something without insulting another, then do you really know why you like the thing that you said you prefer? Or are you following the trauma that has been passed down to make you hate what basically you come from and what you are, the black woman? I never understand that. And you see that a lot in memes, and you see that a lot in these conversations that we have. I don't like black women because they're this and they're that. And it's like, hold up. Like, take a pause on that. We really have to get ready to unpack this idea that you have a preference for one race of people because do you really like that race of women? Or are you just hating on black women? And it should never be that. Our relationship between the African American man and the African American woman, we should be able to get along. And if you want to date outside your ethnicity, fine, do that. But why does it have to be at the expense or insult to a black woman? You know what I'm saying? So you come from a black woman. Why would you hate a black woman? And then you go and get with another race of woman, and then you create a black child, possibly a black daughter who will one day grow up to be a black woman. Do you see that? How that doesn't make sense? So we really have to get ready to peel back the layers of this problem. I only wrote about this particular instance because of the trauma. I gave a reference. Go back and read the Willie Lynch papers and see the psychological warfare that was put upon our ancestors and how this trauma has just been passed down and perpetuated all the way down to us to this very day. And so chew on that, let it marinate, drop some comments. We can further discuss it. Like, I'm always open for discussion. These are just my insights because I really feel like we can come together and get a better understanding of each other without going at each other's throats and constantly having it be like a us against them type thing. It should never be that. Never be that. But we have to begin to understand why there's an issue between black men, black women coming together and being together in harmony. So the next post that I'm going to talk about coming up is going to be, we'll discuss the idea that African American women, or black women in general, have too much masculinity. Stay tuned next time.